Early childhood intervention awareness. Is your child delayed? Is my child delayed? According to the Center for Disease Control and Prevention, they state that developmental delays are up 17% from last year, which is really, really scary. My opening question was, is my child delayed? Is your child delayed? Do we know if our child is delayed? We don't always know. We don't always seek professional help. We don't always seek a professional opinion because we may not think that there is something wrong with our child. Our child in our eyes are always perfect. If in fact someone mentions, oh, well, they're not walking and they're 12 months. Oh, it's okay, they'll walk at their own time. Oh, they're not talking and they're 36 months. Oh, it's okay, every child learns at their own time. Actually, we should be a little bit more concerned. We should be more concerned because there are windows that give us different ideas as to what our child should be doing at that specific age. Approximately 1 out of every 6 children in the United States faces some kind of delay. Fewer than 50% of these children are identified before they start school. That number is very, very scary. That means that half of these children may be in a classroom setting with our children and may not understand what's going on. They may be learning the simplicity of 1 + 1 and not understand that because they don't understand what we're asking them. So it's a very, very scary topic, and many of us don't even want to talk about it because we're scared. We're scared to know the unknown. We're scared to find out that maybe our child does have a delay. What do we do now? We're scared to know that our child is falling behind. Have we failed them? Who failed them? Early childhood intervention affects us all at some point. It affects our children, our grandchildren, our nieces, our nephews, the rich, the poor, the middle class. It affects all socioeconomic levels across all different kinds of backgrounds. You're not going to be saved because you're rich, because you're poor, because you're tall, because you are a doctor, a lawyer, you work at HEB, you work at Target. It affects all of us at some point. It's something that it has no one saved. I've done extensive research in this issue. I worked for a program who specialized in early childhood intervention for 5 years. I did receive different certifications. We as a family, we were faced with a nephew of mine that had some sort of delay, and when he was getting older and he wasn't achieving or reaching his milestones, I did get concerned, and I did voice it out to my sister stating he should be doing this, he should be talking. So I was the one that noticed it because I had done that extensive research because I had worked in that field. I noticed little things that no one else had noticed. I noticed that he was swaying, he was doing certain movements, he wasn't responding to his name, he wasn't speaking, he was just delayed. He was delayed verbally, he was delayed with his gross motor skills. He wasn't walking, he lived in his own little bubble. So I did voice it, and I did tell my sister, and it was something that was very, very scary for us. So I have my experience both in a professional setting and a personal setting in regards to delays. I was a tool for my family. I was a tool for them. It was a tool that I needed. I needed to learn more because I needed to be factual. I needed to provide them with the facts, not just I think, it looks like, he said. I needed facts. Now he will be 3 and he is being tested for autism. He does have 3 of the characteristics. He was referred to different specialists. He was referred to a neurologist. So luckily my research, luckily working in this field did help provide the tool needed to identify the problem. According to the CDC, 1 in 59 children are diagnosed with autism, an increase in boys. Like I said, my nephew is a boy, so he was he was affected. The chances of him being diagnosed were a little bit higher because he was a boy. So what can we do? What can be done? Yes, there's screenings that are taken at the doctor's office when you reach a certain amount of months. There are questions. There's 10, 15, sometimes 20 questions. And my nephew was doing all of this, according to my sister. However, since she answered yes to a lot of the questions, the doctor oversaw it. He didn't think there was a problem. However, I think that the screenings need to be different. I think they need to be looked at again. I think someone else has to put a different screening in place. Maybe now that we know more about delays and autism, something can be done and it can be changed. What can we do? There's programs. There's programs that can help these children with delays. So the problem is that there's not enough information for these parents that discuss delays, that discuss autism. There's just not enough information. 1 in 3 infants and toddlers who receive treatment because of a delay later did not receive special education resources services. 1 in 3. That's one. You line up 20 kids, 1 in every of those 3, because they received early intervention, they didn't receive special education services at school. That's great, but what happens to the rest of the children? In 2018, 90,000 children were referred to an ECI program. When I use the acronym ECI, I mean Early Childhood Intervention Program. That program deals with, or these programs deal with children under the age of 3. They identify problems. They later seek services, resources for them so that these children can somewhat receive the services that they need at some point or another. According to the CDC, 58,000 of these children received assistance of the 90,000 that were diagnosed. And about 25,000 did not receive any help. So 25,000 of those 90,000 did not receive any kind of speech therapy, physical therapy, occupational therapy. They didn't receive anything. Why? Again, goes back to they didn't know. They didn't know. It wasn't detected. They didn't think that there was a problem. Lack of education, environmental, resources. Or is it the Hispanic culture, the Mexican culture? He's chiflado, he's fine. Or no, that's not my son. My son doesn't have a problem. My daughter doesn't have a problem. Or these parents are simply just not educated. Early childhood intervention needs to be addressed. It needs to be spoken of more. There needs to be more information about it. Whether it's in doctor's offices, whether it's in playgrounds, whether it's anywhere where children are, where families are, where parents are, in more commercials. It just needs to be addressed. There needs to be more of a solution to this problem, because developmental delay is a problem. It's a big problem. It's a problem that we're not seeing that's affecting our children, our future. Better referrals from the doctors, better screenings from the doctors and the nurses. It is a problem that goes unnoticed. Educate yourself. Maybe not for you, maybe it won't affect you, but maybe it'll affect your neighbor, your sister, your brother, your grandchild in 10 years, 5 years, 4 years. We need to know. We need to know that these children do face and will face a delay. Let's educate ourselves for them. Let's make a difference for them. I feel that if we learn more about this topic, our future will not suffer from it. So I think that we should all take 5 minutes of our time, Google, scroll, go into the Center of Disease and Control, Google Facts, Google anything that's gonna help educate you. We have a wonderful program here in Harlingen, Easter Seals, that identifies these problems. They will educate you. There's websites, nowadays it's a click away. It's a click away, it's a search away from your phone. It's something that we need to do for ourselves, for our future, for our children, for strangers. So again, early childhood intervention awareness, it's vital. It's vital that we learn about it. It's vital that we make a difference. Again, thank you for listening. Read. Thank you.